Good morning, class. May I request everyone to please stand up for our opening prayer? Chancellor, kindly lead the prayer. So, before you take your seats, kindly arrange the chairs properly. Alright, a pleasant good day, class. So, how's everyone doing? So, today, before anything else, let me introduce to you our classroom rules. Kindly read the rules, class. First, raise your hand if you want to excuse yourself to go to the comfort room or if you have a question regarding to the class discussion. Second, speak to your classmate and teacher. Third, listen carefully. Alright, class, who among you here can recall our previous lesson? Right. Okay, thank you so much for that, Gerstein, for that previous discussion. Now, so before we proceed to our discussion, I want you to answer on your own opinion about these questions. So, what does independence to you? Yes, Ricardo? Yes, so independence means it's the ability to think, act, and make decisions freely without undue reliance on controls by others. So, right, let's give 3 claps for the great answer from Mr. Ricardo. So, second, have you ever made a choice that went against what others expected of you? How did it feel? Yes, Juna? Yes, that's correct. I have made choices that went against expected of me. So of course, it feels for the right decisions to yourself. That's right. So thank you, Mr. Junel, for sharing your experiences about your good decisions. And for that, we will give you 3 claps of applause. Now, with these questions, what do you think is our lesson for today? Good answers, but not exactly about independence or about England, but it is related to the story about a New England known by Mary Wilkins E. Freeman. So does anyone already have had read this story or not? Alright then, in this lesson, we will be discussing the story of a New England known by Freeman, but before that, I want you to read and analyze the story. Kindly read, everyone. So, it tells the story of Loisa Ellis, a solitary and orderly woman who has waited 15 years for her fiancé, Joe Daggett, to return from Australia to marry her. Over the years, Loisa has grown comfortable with her quite independent life, filled with small routines and peaceful solitude. Joe's returns disrupts her world and she feels uneasy about changes in their marriage will bring, including sharing her space, adjusting to his rough ways, and dealing with his demurring mother. She also fears Joe will release her dog Caesar, who has been chained for years due to a youthful bite, symbolizing her desire to preserve her controlled, peaceful existence. When Loisa overhears Joe and another woman, Lily Jeer confess mutual feelings about agree to honor his engagement. She realizes neither of them truly wants the marriage. Loisa diplomatically ends the engagement, freeing them both from an unwanted obligation. Relieved, she returns to her serene, solitary life, likened to that of a nun, cherishing the peace and predictability she values most. The story explores themes of individuality, societal expectations, and the pursuit of personal happiness. The dog, Kaisar, is a significant symbol in the story. He is an old yellow and white dog who has lived his life chained in a hut because of an incident in his yacht when he bit a neighbor. So Loisa is deeply attached to Kaisar because he belongs to her deceased brother, but she also believes in his potential for danger despite his gentle and subdued demeanor. Kaisar represents Loisa's own life control, isolated and defined by routine. Loisa fears that Joe, with his well-meaning but clumsy ways, will set Kaisar free after their marriage, which she imagines will lead to chaos and harm. This fear of Kaisar's release parallels her anxiety about losing her carefully maintained independence and the order of her life. After breaking off her engagement, Loisa feels relieved knowing Kaisar will remain safely in his hut. The dog undisturbed by Joe's intervention. The dog symbolizes the stability and predictability Loisa values in her solitary life. So, the end. So that's the story. So, the central of the central characters of the story were Louis Ellis and Joe Daggett, right class? So, what is the difference between the two of them? Yes and V. Yes, correct. Ellis is an independent, reserved woman in her late 30s who has lived a solitary, structured life. So, what about Joe Daggett? Yes, Miss Leah. Yes, that's correct. So, Joe Daggett is more conventional and social. He has returned from a time working away from home, eager to finally marry Loisa and resume their life together. So, thank you for that wonderful answer, Miss Leah. Now, Loisa and Joe are characters who are contrasted in their attitudes towards life, relationship, and personal growth. Loisa and Joe represent two different approaches to life. Loisa, Loisa embodies personal independence and self-sufficiency, while Joe symbolizes the conventional, outward-facing desire for marriage and companionship. So, what is the significance of Lily Jeer in the story? How does she influence Loisa's decision? Yes, Miss Mika? Yes, that's correct. So, Lily is a younger, more vibrant woman from the same town as Loisa. And Joe, she is introduced in the story as a person who embodies qualities that Joe Daggett finds appealing. Lily's presence acts as a mirror to Loisa's own feelings of stagnation and discontent. So thank you for that answer, Miss Mika. So Lily Jeer's significance in the story is indirect but vital. She serves as the emotional spark that helps Loisa fully recognize the disparity between her life and Joe's evolving deeds. What about the what about the dog Kaiser? How does Kaiser's presence contribute to the story? Yes, Miss Christie. Right. Thank you very much for that wonderful answer, Miss Christie. So, Kaiser contributes to the story's themes by embodying Loisa's need for companionship without the demands of change growth. Now, I have a question. Was Loisa selfish for choosing independence over marriage? Why or why not? Yes, correct. While Loisa's decision may self-focus from one perspective, it is more of an act of self-respect and emotional honesty than selfishness. She is not choosing to reject Joe out of malice or disregard him, but rather out of recognition that continuing the engagement would be unfair to both. Right, class? Yes. Alright, now let's move on to the story insights. So, the tension between independence and love. The story explores how the desire for personal independence can conflict with traditional expectations of marriage and romantic relationships. Loisa Ellis, after being engaged for 15 years, has grown so accustomed to her solitary, ordered life that she no longer wants to share it with Joe, even though she feels a sense of duty toward their engagement. So the impact of time on relationship over the years, both Loisa and Joe change in ways that make their relationship unworkable. Joe's time away has led him to seek a different kind of companionship, one that aligns more with his current desires, while Loisa has grown emotionally self-sufficient. So the need for emotional fulfillment. The story emphasizes the importance of emotional fulfillment in relationship. Loisa realizes that her engagement to Joe has become more of a formality than a source of true happiness or connection. Personal growth and self-awareness. Loisa's ultimate decision to end her engagement and remain independent signals her personal growth. She comes to understand that her own happiness and peace lie in maintaining her solitude rather than adhering to outdated commitments. The role of routine and comfort in life choices. Loisa's attachment to her routine and her dog Kaisar symbolizes her deep comfort in the predictable and familiar. So the story reflects the complexities of human relationships, the importance of emotional fulfillment, and the personal sacrifices involved in choosing between independence and companionship. So, class, I want you to write a short essay responding to, if you were in Loisa's place, would you make the same decision? Why or why not? Second, how can you apply the story's lesson to your own life? So for the assessment, write write in-depth analysis of the story focusing on one of the following: themes, symbols, characters, development. For your assignment, create a visual representation, drawing, collage, or digital art of the key symbols in the story. Either Kaiser dog, Liza's home, her sewing, Guidelines include a short explanation to 100 to 500 words of how each symbol relates to the story's themes. That will be all, class. Thank you for your cooperation. Have a great day.